Starting by grounding yourself in the sit bones, just get yourself nice and comfortable before you start to draw circles with the body over the top of the sit bones. So just going around one way, really allowing the heart to draw forwards and through and pull back before going around the opposite way. You can start to sync the movements with each inhale and exhale as you draw forwards, going through an inhale, and as you pull back, going through an exhale. Next inhale, reach your hands up, interlace the hands behind the skull, lean the head into the hands, and take a side bend out to the right side, releasing your right hand to the floor. Continue to lean your head back into that left hand as you open up that left side body. Breathe here. Pulling the belly back in to secure you from the front. Come back up into center with your inhale. Exhale, start to take a little tip over and out to your left side. Left hand can release to the ground as the right elbow points up. Pull the belly back in, feeling the expansion in the right side body. Come back into center as you inhale. Take a little twist to the right, leaning the head back into the hands. Left hand will come onto the top of the right knee. Right hand sits back behind to support in seated twist. Breathe into it. Reach the right hand up overhead. Sweep it over and out to your left side, dropping the gaze down over the left knee, feeling the lengthening in the left side seam of the body. Inhale to center. Arms reach up. Let's wrap the hands around the back of the head. As you exhale, take a slight twist to the left. Let's release the right hand onto the left knee, left hand back behind to support. Belly pulls back into the body. Think small twist, moving from a place of strength. We're not jarring ourselves to get into the twist. Left arm reaches up and sweeps over and out to the right side, shifting the gaze down over towards the right knee. Inhale up to center, both hands will meet. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Energetically start to pull back with the hands so you feel the lengthening of the heart. Just a few more moments here. Feeling the release in the outer hip. Come back into center, crisscross the legs the opposite way, and reach the hands up with your next inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold, lightly landing the hands to the ground. Energetically pull back to get that lengthening in the back line of the body, feeling the release in the opposite hip. Chin continues to draw down towards the pubic bone, so you're not cranking your gaze ahead. The neck, an extension of the spine. Come back into center and take it through into a tabletop position, shoulders over the wrist, hips over the knees, making sure the back of the neck is nice and long. Let's do some scapular press-ups here, just puffing up lightly into the space between the shoulder blades and allowing the heart to draw forwards, keeping the arms straight. Kind of like a cat-cow movement, but isolating the movement to the shoulder blades. Come back into neutral, take the left hand to the back of the head and twist. Small movement, firming down into the right hand, turning from the ribs to open the body up to the left side. The head is just a passenger, it won't lead your movement here. Just a few more rounds, just getting those obliques really nice and fired up before shifting more weight into the right hand side for modified side plank. Left hand can continue to cup the skull or reach straight up towards the ceiling. Start to backstroke the arm to add a little bit of mobilization for the shoulder joint here, keeping that top leg nice and flexed, nice and active to secure you here. Come back through into three-legged table and start to pulse that left leg up and down, keeping the belly lifted up into the body, the back of the neck still long. The pelvis stays neutral, it stays level. Slide the left leg out to the side for half frog, angle the right foot in and sit back into the hips, making sure you continue to lift up into the elbows, into the back body so as not to collapse into the hips. For a side stretch, reach the hands over and out to your right side, feeling that lengthening in the left side seam of the body. Breathe here. Just a few more moments. Before we come into a variation on gate, sit your bottom down to the floor, take the right hand to the outer hip and extend the hips through, reaching that left arm up overhead and allowing the head to relax. Come back into center, then into all fours. Let's repeat our scapular press ups by just puffing lightly up and down into the space between the shoulder blades. Should start to feel a little bit more supple here as you take the right hand into the back of the skull. Inhale, press into the left hand and open the body up to the right side. Keep the head of the arm bone stable. You're not letting it dip forwards. Utilizing the muscles that support the shoulder structure to allow you to move through a place of strength. Taking it into modified side plank when you're ready, shifting some weight into that left hand and hip before reaching that right hand overhead. Start to backstroke the arm as feels appropriate, keeping the right foot nice and flexed here to support you. Taking it back into three-legged table, start to pulse the right leg up and down. Think tiny little movements, keeping the pelvis nice and still. Trying to recruit the glutes more here before we take it into half frog. Right foot out to the side, left foot angles in as you draw the bum back towards the heels. Getting a nice release in that right inner groin. And maybe for that stretch of the side seam, reach your arms over and out to your left side. Breathe here. Feeling the length in the side body, in the inner groin. And allowing the mind to settle. Come back through into center. We're in tabletop position, taking it through into dolphin, forearms to the floor, fingers interlaced. Allow there to be a softness to the knees as you hoist the pelvis up towards the ceiling, drawing the belly back and into the body. Pick your left foot up to hip height, bend the knee and start to circle at the hip here, just a few rounds one way. And going around the opposite direction, keeping the front body lifted into the back so we don't collapse into the shoulders. Extend that left leg straight as you inhale, roll up onto the right tiptoes and come back down to the earth, left foot to the ground. Right leg extends, re-bend the knee and start to draw circles here through that right hip. The pelvis stays still, we're differentiating between pelvic and hip movement. Going around the opposite direction when you're ready. Straightening out that leg. Inhale, roll up onto the left tiptoes and release to the floor. Let's take it down into a child's pose, bum towards heels. Arms will reach out as you'll interlace the fingers and bring the thumbs to the back of the neck. Lift the front of the body into the back. Active in child's pose. Active throughout our sequence until we get to relaxation. Release the hands to the floor. Rise up into downward facing dog, lifting the belly up into the body, strong in the shoulders. Let's have a little swivel to the left, into the right, and back into the left, making sure we don't collapse into the shoulders and pull the chest back. Arms are strong, core is engaged. Come back into center and walk it into a happy squat, inching the hands towards the feet. Hinge back into the hips, sit into the glutes to feel a lengthening in the back line of the body. Allow your head to relax. Wrap the hands around the back of the sacrum, drawing shoulder blades lightly in. Thrust the hips through, rise to stand, and hinge back at the hips to fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hinge and fold. So going through hip flexion and extension, two movements we need to perform well on a day-to-day basis. Let's walk it back out into plank. You can lower the knees or lower in one piece. Inhale, pull back for cobra. Exhale, lift into downward facing dog, stepping the feet forwards towards the top of the mat. Rise up to stand, inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold, taking the hands to the floor. Let's slide the right foot back, lower the knee and the top of the foot, wrapping the hands around the outer rims of the pelvis. Root your tailbone to the earth. Inhale, arms lift. Take the hands to the floor, step into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, lift into down dog. Pick your right foot up and step it forwards, lowering the left knee and the top of the foot. Hands to the outer rims of the pelvis to secure. Belly pulls in, ribs drawn to the body. Take the hands to the floor, slide the left foot in to meet the right. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. We'll slide the left foot back, lower the knee but not the toes. Take the hands to the outer rims of the pelvis. Reach the left arm up. Right hand to sacrum. Take a side bend to your right side, keeping the belly pulled into the body. Open up into side lunge over the right leg. Don't think depth, think flexion. Keep sitting back into the glutes. Left hand will firm to the floor as the right hand sweeps up towards the ceiling. Allow the gaze to relax towards the earth. Neck is soft. Take the hands to the floor, turn to face the back of your mat, step into a one-legged plank. Keep the foot hovering or lower it down to come onto the belly and rise into cobra to lift into up dog. Gonna do the other side from here. Just one more breath in down dog. Pick your left leg up, step it through, lower the right knee but not the toes. Reach the hands all the way up before sweeping the left hand to the sacrum and taking a side bend to your left. Come into center, turn to your right for side lunge over the right leg. Sit back into the hip crease. You can take your hands into the crease itself to stuff back and get deeper flexion. Left hand stays grounded. Sweep your right hand up towards the ceiling. Allow the gaze to relax. Allow the neck to soften. Turn to face the front of your mat. Right foot slides back, one-legged plank. Hold strong as you lower in one piece or lower the foot to come down onto the belly. Lift into cobra and upward in downward facing dog. Step or hop the feet through to the top of the mat. Rise up into stand. Exhale. You're going to take a side bend over and out to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, take a side bend over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, hinge and fold. Plant the hands by the left foot as you step the right foot back and land on the toes. Start to shift forwards and back onto the front foot to get a little bit of mobility underneath the soles of each foot. Drop it back into a runner's lunge, softening the right knee and having a little wag of your tail to free up some of the connective tissue in the low back area. Hands can come forwards, lean into the left leg, have a little hop before opening up into some side lunges, alternating from right and to left, encouraging yourselves to truly flex at the hips to recruit those glutes. Hold your lunge to the left and walk your hands over so they point towards the right foot, getting a nice side release of the left side seam. Breathe here before turning to face the front of your mat for pyramid pose. Stuff the left hip crease back. Draw the thigh up into the hip socket. The knee doesn't have to be straight. Sweep the hands onto the sacrum to really recruit the core here before stepping into a three-legged downward dog. Left foot comes up. Add a hop, roll up onto the right toes, bend the knee and shift forwards, aiming to take the shoulders over the wrists. Step the feet through towards the top of the mat. Rise to stand for the other side. As you exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. Hands will line up with the feet as you slide that left foot back and land on the toes to shift forwards and back here. Maybe shifting a little bit of weight into that front foot as you spring off the back. Sit it back into your runner's lunge. Left knee softens, right toes point up. Have a little wag of your tail to free up that connective tissue. We're going to take it into that standing L shape. Shift your weight forwards, lean into the hands and hop up before opening up into your side lunges, moving through from side to side. We're going to hold our lunge over the right leg and walk the hands over towards the left foot, getting a little bit of a side opening for that right side seam. Come back through towards the top of the mat for pyramid pose. Right leg doesn't have to be straight. Maintain the length of the spine before anything else. Sweep the hands to the sacrum to recruit the abdominals here. Hold strong. Take the hands to the floor, three-legged downward dog, right foot lifts. You can add a couple of hops here. Step through to the top of the mat, reach the hands up with your inhale. Exhale, hinge into chair pose. Start to heel toe your feet out along the outer edges of the mat to sit the bum down, using the hands to support you as you land on the sit bones for Navasana boat pose. As you inhale, take it into hollow boat. Exhale, back into boat. So just moving back up into boat, then into hollow before adding some twists here, reaching out to the left, coming back into center and out to the right. Just repeat one more time before coming back through into center and taking it into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Soles of the feet draw together as the hands wrap for the feet. Encourage the back of the body to remain long as you draw into the inner thighs. Breathing here and enjoying that release. Sweep the hands back behind you. Fingers point the same direction as the toes to lift up into a bridge variation, keeping the soles of the feet drawing together. Lower down for some side bridges. Left forearm to the floor. Stack the elbow underneath the shoulder before pressing up off of that bottom leg and maybe kicking that top leg, the right leg, straight ahead. Come back through into center for bridge variation with Baddha Konasana legs, and lower down for the other side. Right forearm to the floor, elbow under the shoulder. Come up into your side bridges with the option to kick that left leg out, which is really start to feel the glutes fire up here. Just a few more. Come back through into center. Hug both knees into the chest as you come onto the floor, and release the legs over and out to your left side for supine twist. Keep the belly pulled back into the body to secure the sacro-lumbar connection, maybe extending that top leg and catching hold of it with the left hand if it feels good to extend. Breathing into the back of the body, rebend the leg, come through into center. Exhale, allow the knees to draw over and out to the right side. Belly continues to pull back and in. Option here is to stretch out that top leg to straight. Just a couple more moments here, really encouraging the belly to pull back and in to secure the low back, roll into center, taking it into happy baby, keeping the sacrum really nice and firm down against the floor. If it starts to peel up and away, your body's trying to tell you that there is restriction. There's no need to grab hold of the feet. Anywhere on the low leg will do, so long as we can maintain that connection between the sacrum and the earth. Feel spaciousness within the hip joint. Breathe into it. Draw the knees into the chest. Take the feet into the floor and let the knees knock into one another to secure your sacrum down into the earth. As you inhale, reach your hands up and overhead, interlacing the fingers to get a little bit more lengthening along the side seams. Start to extend your feet straight through towards the bottom of the edges for Shavasana. Palms can point up and the arms will rest along the sides of the body. Stay here as long as you need to absorb the benefits of your practice today. Namaste.